Hey guys, welcome back to the Outshipping YouTube channel. My name is Austin. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be taking a look at a product which is a plasma cutter, something that I've always wanted to get for fabricating on Jeeps and everything like that. The plasma cutter we're going to be taking a look at today is by Bestarc. It's a small machine, but it's going to pack a punch and it doesn't break the bank to get. So I'm excited to try it out and show you guys, so let's get started. Alright, so here we have it. This is a Bestarc plasma cutter. The model on this guy is a BTC500DP. This is the 50 amp machine, and what's cool about this machine is that it runs on 110 as well as 220. It has a factory default plug on here as 220, but it's nice that it comes with an adapter right here, so all you have to do is just plug this in, plug this into a normal outlet that's at least 20 amps, and then you should be good to go. And this machine will also be able to recognize whether it's a 220 or a 110, so that way you're not blowing fuses or anything like that. Now this plasma cutter comes with everything you need to get started, minus an air compressor. So we have our ground clamp that's right here, which plugs into the front of the machine. We got our torch head here with a couple consumable tips as well. Has a nice little trigger lock with that on there as well. And then it also does come with just kind of universal air hose there. That's going to hook up to the back over here. But taking a look at the back side quick, it already does have a fitting already pre-installed on here for a airline quick disconnect. So that's going to go nicely onto your air compressor. Has our power switch in the back along with a fan to cool this machine off. So once again, what's all included in this kit is we got a plasma cutter, a cutting torch, a ground clamp and cable, 2 nozzles, 2 electrodes, an air hose, a wire adapter, and we also have some hose clamps if we want to use this airline along with this. But we're just going to test it out. I got an air compressor that's going to work just fine. Taking a look at the front of the machine, we have our air regulator right here, so we can set our air pressure for the machine. They do have a chart in their instructions where they show what recommended settings you can do for what thickness of metal you're cutting. And we also have our plugins for our ground and our torch. Now what they claim on this machine, if you're using 220 volts, is that you can cut up to 12 millimeters thickness of steel, which is right underneath ½ inch, which is still pretty impressive. And then on the 110 volt, you can cut up to 10 millimeters. So to just fire this up quick, just to look through all the settings on here, I'm going to plug in the adapter and just plug this into 110 for now. Fire it up from the back. And it has a nice digital display in there, which I really like. So E05, that's actually a code on here. So if there's anything that malfunctions, it'll kind of display a code, and then you can look up in your instructions manual on what that is. E05 is just basically there's no air pressure hooked up since I don't have an air compressor on here. Over here we have our air settings. So this is just a cut mode and an air mode. This just checks to make sure that you have air going to the machine, so it kind of, you can hear that solenoid open up, so that purges some air through the machine, so that way you know for sure that you got some air going through your cutting head. Then in the middle we got settings for 2T and 4T. That just depends how you want to use the machine. You can have it so in one setting where you just hold the trigger, then it's live, and then as soon as you release the trigger it shuts off, or you can have it so you click the trigger and it stays on, and then it'll stay on until you click the trigger again to where it shuts off. Then over here we have PT and PA. That's just basically your air settings, so that way you have time for the air to run through the nozzle to cool it off after your cut, so that way you're not burning up the electrodes. That cools off the torch head nicely. And then over here obviously we have our amperage that we can adjust here. It should be able to display once that code is cleared, once we get airline hooked up to this. But overall, this is a nice compact machine. It's only probably around 20 pounds. Very light. I can store it anywhere and pull it out when I need it. So I'll go ahead and get this thing all hooked up. We'll get our airline hooked up, our ground, and our wand on here, and then we'll start making some cuts. I'm probably going to take this to my friend's house, so it'll be a little bit change of scenery, so that we can take a look and see how it does on 220 volts. Alright, so so we got our machine all hooked up. We got our air line here in the back, and unfortunately the plug for the 220 is a little bit different here at my friend's house, so we're just going to be running it on 110. Should be fine for what we're cutting. We're just cutting up to 1/8 inch today. So we're going to fire this baby up. We got air running through. So the range we're looking for is between 40 and 50 PSI. So I'm going to go 45 PSI for our regulator. And then we only need 20 amps for cutting this. Alright, so we got our machine all set up. I just got some scrap steel right here. This is some 1/8 inch stainless steel actually. Just got from a scrap pile. So we're going to test this out. We got a long enough wand over here, which is a nice 10-foot cord it looks like. So we're going to try making some cuts and see what this does. Once again, just wear at least a shade 5 to cover your eyes for this. Alright guys, there we have it. We tested out this Bestarc plasma cutter, and so far I am very impressed with it. We only did up to 1/8 inch because that's all the scrap metal I really had, and then we weren't able to plug it into the 220 just because the outlet wasn't the right type at my friend's house. But that'll be fixed in the future when we do some more work. We're going to be testing this out a little bit more. I got all those floors in the Jeep truck that need to get cut out because they're all rusted, so I'm definitely excited to try it out on that and see how well it's going to do there. I want to thank Bestarc for sending this out to me. And if you guys want to purchase one for yourself, I'm going to leave a link down below. You can purchase these on Amazon. I think right now they're on sale for only $200, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. So if you guys liked this video and found it helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to the Outjeeping YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to post those down below. And if you guys want to help support the channel, check out outjeeping.com. We got some new t-shirts and stickers, so you guys can go ahead and purchase and help support the channel. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.